Good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with this next weather update on National Weather Person Day. Happy National Weather Person Day to all people out there, all my colleagues, all my friends. Yes, my video is coming out a little bit late in the day just because I work, so this is the only time I had to do it. So, anyway, trying a little bit of a different angle here, so let me know what you guys think. A little bit more different lighting effect. So, we'll see how it goes. So let's get to the weather discussion. So now this is going to be very interesting where we're going to be seeing a lot of precipitation coming through. The QPF is going to be pretty high for some areas. The question is what kind of precipitation. And it's looking a little bit more certain now, so my confidence is pretty high with what kind of precipitation is going to happen in what area. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to switch over to my computer screen here. And here in the computer screen, we're first taking a look at the radar. And with the radar, what we're seeing is nothing much on the western half of the lower 48, but on the eastern half, there's quite a big system here. There is a lot of heavy precipitation in some areas here. And this is, if you look at the path, it's heading our way. So let's start taking a look at some satellite as well. And this is where we're seeing this moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. May actually bring up some water vapor, mid-level water vapor here. And we got all this moisture coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And that is what is kind of fueling the system. Well, side note, if the Gulf of Mexico wasn't where it was, and let's say that's just regular a landmass, the northeast U.S. would probably be a desert climate. So kind of interesting to think about. But yeah, it looks like a lot of this moisture is coming off of the Gulf of Mexico that's feeding this system right now. And this is where it has a lot of precipitation in this. The question is going to be the temperatures. So let's start taking a look at some of these forecast models here. So here I have the GFS, and let's take a look. So this is saying 6Z Thursday, which is about 1 a.m. tonight. We're going to start to see somewhere between 0Z, which has already passed, which was 7 p.m., and 1 a.m. We're going to start to see this mixing happening for around northern New Jersey, going into the lower Hudson Valley. Not necessarily Long Island, definitely north of the Hudson Valley, but New York City and kind of south of there stays pretty much as rain. And that's the case for most of this system here. It's all staying as rain, and this is keeping most of the heavy precipitation south and offshore of the tri-state region. But this cold air stays to the north. And this is where the only thing I am questioning here, this wraparound. So we get a lot of precipitation and we get some pretty heavy snow with that dark blue. And that's kind of getting close to the Hudson Valley area. So that's where we may be seeing a bit of a question mark there. That's with the GFS. And then we have this increased pressure gradient, the higher winds. Behind that, going into Friday night. So this system is really going to be multiple days. Starting tonight, Wednesday night, going through Thursday, going through Friday into Friday night, and then finally out Friday night. So by Saturday morning, we're starting to see the system leave and the winds calm down. We have a high coming out of Canada, 1027 millibar there on the GFS. Let's take a look at pivotal weather here. And let's take a look at what it's saying. So it's kind of saying the similar start time. And also, actually, the freeze line is a little bit more north on the Euro here. But the precipitation is not as heavy for the first round. And then the second round, heavier precipitation comes in. The southern half of Jersey, Long Island, going into a little bit of Connecticut through Boston. And the low pressure doesn't really bring up as much precipitation as we saw on the GFS here. So that was a lot more precipitation, but it stayed offshore. And then with the Euro, not as much, but still stays offshore, which is good. And now we're going through Friday. We're still going to have this wraparound at the end. This is still the concern, is for Friday we may be seeing still this little bit of mixing. Higher pressure gradient, so windy still through Friday night, and then when we finally get to Saturday, it starts to die down with the wind, and actually looks like, was that the same? I think 1027 millibar. So that's coming through for Saturday. Now on the icon here, let's take a look at what's happening. So this is same time frame, 6Z. So this one, because it's all every 3 hour, we get a little bit more of a better look. So between 0 and 3, nothing really yet. That's where it's starting to get into southern Jersey, right around, say, the Philadelphia area. And then between 3Z and 6Z, so that's between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m., we're going to start to see the rain come in. But this, look, it's warmer. There is no frozen precipitation hitting, right here is New York City. There's no frozen precipitation there hitting New York City until the very tail end, where it kind of gets close, but not close enough. We're still getting this heavy snow going up near Albany there. But most of this stays as rain, and it's still the string of very heavy precipitation, which is going to be very heavy rain. So we're going to see a little bit of on-again, off-again rain through Thursday morning, then midday Thursday, maybe a little break, but then Thursday night again, more rain going into Friday. Starts out rainy, but again, most of that heavy rain stays offshore. Little breaks, but then that tail end, that also increases the pressure gradient here. That is consistent now between all these forecast models. And then going into Saturday, that pressure gradient starts decreasing, and here comes the high. It's jumping a little bit, but I think the high is a little bit more south here. Okay. And the last one on the good old tropical tidbits, the NAM. Let's see here. So this one actually has a little bit faster, but it's starting colder, so the Hudson Valley, northern New Jersey, like that Sussex County higher elevation area, looks like it's going to be getting maybe some frozen precipitation. That's lasting, excuse me, through Thursday morning. Then it starts to break up a little bit. Midday, kind of like we said before. Then later in the day, Thursday, we start to see the heavier rain come in. Now this is coming in much closer, so New York City may see the heart of that heavier rain. So that's a possibility. And then another break, and then here comes some more rain. So this is a little bit more on again, off again, but still that tail end, it brings in some wraparound snow, but it still stays mostly north out of the Hudson Valley. Through Pennsylvania, yeah, you will be seeing, because that's the cold front kind of here, if we follow the kink in the isobars, that's kind of where your cold front is right here. So anything west of that is going to be cold enough for snow. East of that, maybe not. And it looks like right there, the cold front would be extending kind of through this. And then going into Saturday, that pressure gradient starts to die down. And that's as far out right now, 60 hours, as this model has run, which is actually the 0Z. So that's not finished just yet. Okay, so looks like we have a little bit of a wintry mess happening in some areas, but anyway, still a lot of heavy precipitation. So that wraps up this weather update video on National Weather Person Day. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that little subscribe button below and that little bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I upload videos like this, or I do go live sometimes. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.